Alright, hello. I just got home. I look a mess, I feel a mess, but I had to come to you guys with this video about some current event news that I think you should know about. First of all, we're going to do a moment of silence for Janiyah Thomas. Her body was just officially identified as the one that was in the freezer, so we're just going to have a moment of silence for that and for justice for Janiyah. Okay, so as you can tell by the title of this video, more of this foolishness, this police foolishness, this debauchery is just ridiculous. It's mind-numbing. Excuse me. So let me just jump right into it. Yesterday afternoon, today is Tuesday, yesterday was Monday afternoon, in a North Carolina high school, a young female was dragged out of her seat and thrown across the room by the resource officer of the school. I saw this on the news this morning and I was just like, what? No, that didn't happen. Maybe she was doing something wrong. No, she was in trouble for disturbing the peace, so that means she could just could have been talking back to the teacher or doing whatever. But the thing was, though, she was sitting in her chair as he proceeded to turn over the chair and throw her across the room. I don't know if I want to link the video of this in the description box. I most likely will not do that because I watched it and it disturbed me to death. It was on CNN this morning, so if you want to see it, go right on ahead. I'm not linking it in the description box. I'm not linking it in this video. But you can probably go to CNN.com and go view it. Okay. The girl's name has not been released. The name of the officer obviously has been released. I refuse to say his name, even though I know it, because he's not going to get any power over me. The most disturbing part about this is a few people who are commentating on, this issue, and it is an issue. We're saying, we don't know the events that were happening preceding him throwing her across the room. Does it matter? Does it matter what this child's doing for her to be overturned in her chair and thrown across the room and handcuffed like an animal? And to make things worse, or better, depending on how you want to look at it, another young lady decided that she wanted to stand up and try to defend the young woman who was thrown across the room, and she was arrested also for disturbing the peace. And her mother, who is probably a very strong woman in her own right, said she's not upset with her daughter for being arrested because she was standing up for something she believed in. And I just thought that was amazing, and I had to share that as well because it was a new development that came out during the story, while the story was being aired this morning. And I just thought that was great because everybody in the classroom in the video, if you watch the video, everyone in the classroom was visibly just still. Like, you didn't want to move, they did not want to look, they didn't want to do anything. They were visibly still. Like, either they were shell-shocked or they just didn't want to be associated with what was going on. And I don't think I would have wanted to be associated with what was going on either, especially if I was in high school. I mean, I just graduated 3 years ago. If I would have been in high school then, and if I would have saw that, I would have probably, I honestly don't know how I would have reacted, because it's so, you just don't think that, a police officer, a resource officer who works in schools would throw a student across the classroom, even though she was just sitting in her chair, regardless of the fact of what the teacher called you in there for. There was no reason for that. There was no reason for that at all. So this officer has been put on administrative leave, and he's banned from all schools in that school in North Carolina. Pending investigation. I don't know what there is to investigate. There's clear video of his misconduct and excessive force, and the same officer had 2 lawsuits against him, one that ruled in his favor and one that's still ongoing for his excessive force. So I don't really know what there is to investigate, but you know, the police folks like to cover their own behinds. I just thought that was outrageous. I really had to come on here and voice my opinion about that, because it doesn't matter what. I have a sister who's in high school now. I have a brother who's in high school now. It does not matter what came before that split-second decision to throw them across the room. It doesn't matter what preceded that. They're still children. They are still children. This is somebody's daughter, and you took it upon yourself to put your hands on her and assault her. I don't care how you say it, flip it, put it, or wrap it up in a bow. You assaulted this young lady. It wasn't even a male. It wouldn't have been different if it was a male, but it kind of would have been. This is a young lady. So you assaulted this young lady, and then arrested the next young lady who tried to defend her because you didn't think what you were doing was right. This foolishness. This police foolishness. That's all I really have to say on that, because it just utterly disgusted me to the point where I was like, what is this trash? Like, it was just... So that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up my night. I just really had to come on here and share this with y'all. And if you want to voice your opinions, feel free to voice your opinions, because I would love to hear your opinions, especially if you're watching this and you're from North Carolina. Alright, you guys. Well, good night, good morning. Don't know what time zone you're in, but I know here it's night, and I'm getting ready to go to bed.